We've all heard that in order to manifest to the level of greatness, of abundance that is available to us, we need to be in alignment. But most of us don't even know what that means or how to do that. And the solution is to just surrender, to trust the universe. But again, most of us don't know what that actually looks like. And I am here to tell you that everyone who says that stuff is right. It is the secret. It is the way to all of the greatness beyond what you could even imagine to manifest in your life. But I understand that it can feel really confusing to even understand what all of that means. So I am here to explain it super fucking easily for you. If you are someone who is feeling stuck, if you don't know the next steps to take in making your manifestations, making your dream life a reality, you need to hear this today. I remember when I first started my manifestation journey, and I would hear all the time, everywhere, in every book, in every podcast, in every course I took, to simply live in alignment, to be in alignment. I heard that in order to manifest what you want, you need to be in alignment to it. And for someone who felt so far off from the things that I wanted to manifest and from who I wanted to be, it was hard for me to even wrap my head around how I could match my frequency to something that was completely unfamiliar to me. And so here is the simple way of going about this that will make it all click for you and open all of the doors for you so that easily, effortlessly, the next steps are shown to you and you know exactly the path to take. The first, just all around hack is living in alignment with your truest, with your highest self. Now, that sounds great and all, but what does that look like, right? The first thing that you have to understand is that there are layers of film, as you can think, these different sort of sheets covering your most authentic self. And this has been put on us throughout our life as we've been told who we are, what we like, what we can do, what we can't do, and the world has shaped us a bit. So one of the pre-steps to this is to really go on a journey of discovering who you really are, who is that most authentic version of you. And that can take a lot of deep soul work, a lot of shadow work, a lot of uncovering and discovery. So understand that if you don't feel fully clear on who your highest, most aligned soul self, highest self is, that is totally okay. And most of us feel that way too. And I will also say that it is a continuous process because we are ever growing, ever evolving. And as we do so unknowingly, subconsciously, more of these layers telling us who we are, telling us a story about ourselves or what we can do, what's possible for us, more of these get piled on us even when we are doing the work and conscious and manifesting. So it really is a continuous process of a learning and a shedding and an unlearning and a learning again. So know that where you are right now is absolutely perfect, and we all go through these same cycles over and over, no matter how long you've been doing this whole conscious creation manifestation sort of stuff. If you are someone who feels like you are just ready to uncover all of that and clear everything that is kind of clouding your connection to your truest self, I have a perfect resource for you. I'll link it down below. It's my program. I'm not going to say too much about it here, because I have so much that I want to share with you about alignment, about faith and surrender in this episode. But what I will tell you is that we are about to open enrollment to our most hands-on round, because I'm also in this phase of the cycle where I'm right there with you, rediscovering who I am and shedding those layers as I align to my next greatest up level. So we're going to have a super hands-on group. Think of it like a group message where you will have so much support as you move through this uncovering, this shedding, this shadow work, and aligning to your highest self, and as a byproduct, manifesting your highest, most aligned dream life. So I will leave those details all below for you, but just know that if you're feeling like you have no idea where to start, or like you need a major clean out, I've got you. Okay, so let's move into talking about higher self alignment. What living, moving, and being in alignment on a daily basis, on a moment to moment basis, actually looks like. I am willing to bet that you know what I'm talking about when I say that there is a little voice inside of you that sort of pulls you in certain directions, or kind of whispers to you what you want and what you like and what you don't want or don't like. And the thing about this little voice is it is subtle. It is very, very subtle. So subtle that often people overlook it, or we have just been programmed and conditioned to, and through years and years of overlooking it, we've sort of silenced it, where we've lost this connection to maybe even hearing it. So if you're unsure about this little voice, I really invite you and encourage you today, tomorrow, to be super intentional about tuning in, slowing down in your life, and seeing where you notice that little voice. Again, it's super slight. It's like a whisper, but it's somewhat of a pull. And for some, it may come up as really like a voice in your head, like a part of you that speaks to you. But for others, it can be as simple as just a little feeling, like a little inkling inside of you. This is the voice of your higher self. And so when we talk about living in alignment, being in alignment, moving in alignment is the path to your greatest manifestations. It is this little voice and following it that we're talking about. Now, the thing with this little voice and why it can feel so hard to actually live in alignment is because sometimes I don't like to use the term off path, because I truly believe that every path we take is divine and it's all unfolding for us for a greater purpose, even the ones that you find yourself in and it feels like one big, insane, chaotic mess that you're like, how the hell did I get in this situation? And please get me out ASAP. I believe all of this is for our highest path, for our soul's evolution, and for us to become who we are meant to be in order to manifest everything that we want to manifest. So there are so many nuances and little lessons hidden in our life. But if you are at the place right now where you know it is time for you to up level, for you to manifest something that you've been deeply desiring, or to really step into what it feels like to live in this alignment and be consciously creating a life that is better for you than you could ever possibly imagine, then it is really your season of life to tune into this voice and to know that it may lead you or tell you things that you don't want to hear. You may realize by tuning into this voice that everything that you've spent so much time creating isn't aligned to you. And again, what does this alignment mean? It's that pull within you that tells you this is right? This feels good to me. This feels true to me. This feels like it's meant for me. Or it's that voice that tells you something's just off. This is wrong. This isn't for you anymore. And maybe it's things that at one point did feel right to you, but this voice is now telling you that it's time to move on, that you've outgrown them, that it's time for something new. And actually following that voice can feel really scary. Listening to it is one thing, learning how to hear it, learning how to tune into it, learning how to notice those subtle pulls within you. That's the first step. So if you aren't even familiar with that, again, I really encourage you to take the day to really become aware in every moment, in every single thing you do, every action you take, every thought that you think, every decision you make, every single thing you do. Just pause and tune into what you're feeling inside of you. Are you feeling this sort of like, fuck yes, like this is right? Even if it's scary, even if it's pushing you out of your comfort zone, even if it makes you nervous to do, even if it's unfamiliar, you feel this internal kind of like nudge to keep going, this feeling of this is right, this is good, do it. Or do you feel this sort of feeling of restriction, almost like you're having to force what you're doing, and this feeling that maybe consciously you think you're doing the right thing, but inside you have this feeling that it's not good, it's not right, it's not for you. It's just this subtle feeling of heaviness. And all of this can show up differently for everyone. So it's really your work to find out what your soul's sort of signals to you are. For me personally, when something's in alignment, I feel that sort of like, fuck yes, this is right sort of feeling, this openness in my heart, almost like butterflies in my soul is how I explain it. Not quite in my stomach, but almost more like in my heart, this feeling that this thing is right. Again, even if it is scary, I'm moving through this right now in my life with so many changes, so much transformation, so much deep healing that I'm going through. The chapter where I'm moving into in my life right now is something that I could have never even guessed a year ago. Like, my life is taking a complete 180. And that's scary, and that feels very unsure and unstable. However, that feeling of alignment with my higher self, that I am doing the right thing that is true to me, true to my soul, is there. And so that tells me that although it's scary, although it's uncomfortable, those feelings are just here because it's unfamiliar. And anything that is unfamiliar, anything that is new, is immediately marked as dangerous in your subconscious. So in your human self, it can feel really dysregulating. It can feel really alarming. It can feel in the human like it's scary and you just want to run and hide and go back to the way that things have been and were. But this is why tuning into that subtle voice is so important in manifestation, because it's by tuning into that subtle voice, that voice of the higher self telling you, yes, this is right. It's unfamiliar. You don't know what's going to unfold from this step that you're going to take, but this is the next right step to take. That is what leads you to quantum leaps. That is what breaks you out of the unconscious sort of prison that you formed around yourself of how you think your life should be and the way that you think it should go, and frees you into the expansiveness and the infinite potential that is really here in this life for your soul to experience. And ultimately, isn't that what we all want? Right? Like, we think that we know what we want. We think that we know what we desire, and that's all great and good. And we can focus on those things and manifest them, but we're really missing out on all of the magic available to us when we kind of put blinders on for that one thing or that one way for it to come through and manifest. And when we more set our intentions, but tune into this voice and let that be the thing that calls the shots, not the feeling of discomfort that tells you to go back and just stay in your way of doing things that you always have and keep playing it safe, but the voice that tells you that even though it's scary, even though it's unfamiliar, this step is the right step to take, and you take that step. That is what every single time is going to lead you to a life that is greater than you ever imagined. Now that is alignment. That is living, being in our higher self alignment, taking every action, making every decision, and showing up every single day in that higher self alignment, listening to that little voice within you and its calls and its pulls, and what feels expansive within you and what feels restrictive within you, telling you that it's actually not aligned. And every single day, in every single way, in every single moment, moving more and more in the alignment. So in agreement to, in honoring of, in response to that higher self pull. That is how you live in alignment, and you begin to follow the path to a life that is greater for you than you ever could have imagined. That is so easy to say and so much harder to actually do. And this is where faith and surrender truly come in and are an absolutely necessary ingredient in this process. Every single time that I have surrendered, and I'm not meaning just said I surrender, because I can't even count the amount of times I've written in my journal or said, I surrender, universe, I surrender, and didn't actually mean it, didn't actually back it with my energy. And that's another huge point, is that you can say the things all day long, but it's not what you say or even necessarily the actions that you take that are determining what is showing up in your reality, because it is all energetic. What we are experiencing physically, what we are seeing and experiencing with our senses, is all just a result, a reflection of what we are being energetically. So you can say all day that you surrender, or that you're ready for this manifestation, or that you're done behaving in the ways that you once behaved. And you may even begin taking actions towards manifesting what you want. But if your energy, if your total embodiment isn't there, then what you are projecting out into your reality, and therefore what will be reflected back, won't quite be that thing that you want. Okay? This is huge to understand. So when we surrender and we open ourselves to the magic that the universe has in store for us, to our higher self guiding us, leading us, trusting that the path is unfolding for us, trusting that everything is happening for us, and surrendering our control, surrendering our fear, surrendering our worry, and just taking the steps, the aligned steps, those higher self pull steps as they are laid out for us. It's one thing to say, I surrender. It's another thing to fully embody that energy of letting it go. And I want to make that very clear for you. And the best way that I practice this is when I feel myself holding on, grasping, worrying, having fears, trying to figure out how I'm going to make all the things happen and how it's all going to work, and getting ahead of myself in my head and with my logical mind. I take that moment, I close my eyes, I breathe, and I imagine it just all washing down from me. And that visualization, sort of like energetic release, that is energy work that you're doing right there. Okay, you can do energy work even if you're not an energy healer, right? You are. You totally are. It's just about owning this power within yourself and allowing yourself to do the work on yourself. So simply imagining all of that washing off of you, releasing, and holding into that space of that release. And I like to recite to myself just sort of the mantra of I surrender, I let go, I I release, I trust, I surrender, I let go, I release, I trust. And I breathe through this deep breaths and just let that worry, let the fear, let the control just wash away. And I come back to being present, to just being here, and back to the intention. So back to what that main thing, that main desired result that I want is. So if that is having peace in my life, then focusing on having peace in my life. If that is a certain income level, focusing again on already having that income level. If that is a certain relationship or manifestation, focusing again on that end result of what I want and letting go of all the thoughts and the fears and the worries of how exactly I'm going to make it happen. Right now, I'm manifesting something to come into my life around end of May. And right now, logically, it does not make sense how I would have that thing, how I would be able to have that thing. And so whenever I catch myself in this thought of crunching the numbers and thinking how I'll get there and what has to happen for that to be able to come through, I catch myself in that process. And again, I just release. I release and I surrender. So that is the energetic embodiment of surrendering. So again, it's one thing to catch yourself and just say, I surrender, or journal and say, I'm surrendering, universe. But it's another thing to actually follow through with your energy and the actions that you take, not in a going out and doing something actionable sort of way, but the actions that you take, meaning that you stop the spiral of thought. You interrupt the thought with, again, just focusing on that end desired result and end goal, and just letting that be where your energy is used, because that is where your energy is most effective. It's just focusing on that desired result and then trusting, surrendering, letting go of all of the rest. And so surrender is really an energy. It's an energy of being in that is perfectly coupled with faith, with trust, with knowing and believing with every cell in your body that everything is working out for you. And here's one of the biggest mind fucks of it all. We create our reality. We are the creators. Each of us individually create our reality and the rules for which our reality is created by. So, whether you believe that everything is working out for you or that it's not and everything's against you will be your reality. It's a mindfuck because we want to believe that for everyone, everything is always working out for them. But in one sense, on the soul lesson sort of level, it is. But in the other sense of becoming the conscious creators, becoming the awakened self, almost like lucid dreaming in this life experience that we have, coming alive, becoming our higher self embodied in this human body and creating our life, our world, our reality from that place. We have the power to choose, to decide, each of us, what that's going to look like. So I invite you today to adopt that belief that everything is always working out for you. Everything is always leading you to the highest experiences of life, to exactly where you desire to go for your greatest and highest good and your most abundant, rich, enjoyable, pleasurable life on this earth, in this body. Adopt that belief because, again, whatever you believe to be true becomes your reality. It becomes your rules for your reality. So with this rule for our reality backing us, it's then so easy to go into faith, to go into trust, even in the most challenging moments. And if you're going through something difficult right now, let me just say that it's been in these challenging moments as I've been navigating that I end up finding the most spiritual connection, the most peace, which sounds very paradoxical or counterintuitive, that it's from these most difficult times that I end up finding the most spiritual connection and peace. But it is because in these moments, it's one of the greatest sort of awakenings, reminders to surrender into this faith and this trust. And that I really come back to this energy of surrendering, of truly believing that everything is happening for me. It's all working out for me. And really having no other option than to just fully give my heart and every ounce of my being into that belief. That then reality like that, I'm telling you, it happens so fast, begins to reflect it back to me. And a practice that I'm in this phase of my life and my spiritual journey is staying in this place more consistently, because throughout my entire spiritual journey, it's been a thing of oscillating between being really dialed into this and then kind of like subconsciously slipping out of it without even knowing, until I find myself in another sort of quote unquote rock bottom or challenging situation that brings me back into this energy. And when I was younger, this oscillation would happen a lot. And then as I got older and I really devoted my life to manifestation, to creating my reality consciously and intentionally, and helping other people to do so, it happened a lot less. However, I believe that as it has happened, subconsciously, I've like slipped out and had to find my way back. I truly believe, and I see now coming out of this massive awakening that I've been going through in the last few weeks, that it is divine, that it is perfect, that this is what I was meant to go through, because of these challenges in my life right now, I'm going to be able to help so many more people. And it's aligned to what I want to do with my life, what I want to devote my life to, which is helping people. And in order to do that, I need to know what it's like to overcome some challenges too. So all of that to say, it is okay to oscillate out of this sort of feeling of being in total blind faith and trust in the universe and surrendering. It is obviously great and beneficial for us to be in that place. But if you are hearing me say all of this right now and you're realizing that you've slipped out of that, or that you aren't in that, know that that is divine too, because that can sometimes be required for us to actually find the deepest level of surrendering and the deepest level of trust and faith that we can, and to learn the lessons that we came here to learn. When I tell you that tapping into this energy leads to such fast manifestations and such fast proof that things are working out for you, you're just going to have to trust my word for it and try it yourself. But I'm telling you, within a week, you will start to see the universe reflecting its magic back to you. When you surrender into the magic, surrender into the trust and faith that this magic, God's magic, universe's magic exists and is real, and that your power of being the creator of your reality is fucking real, you will start to see the signs. You will start to see your reality shift. People start to treat you different than ever before. It's quite crazy to experience, and really just gives you this rush of like, holy shit, I'm really creating this. Like, I really have this power, which then gives you even more confidence to trust deeper, to surrender deeper, to, as I like to call it, take a trust fall, a leap of faith, even bigger. And again, this is where that alignment with your higher self comes in, because there may be a pull that you are feeling right now. That higher self is telling you to take a leap, telling you to make this jump or this change in your life that feels so scary to you, feels so unfamiliar. You don't know how it's all going to play out. You don't know how good could possibly come from you taking this step, and all that you see is the problems that could come from it, and the added stress and the issues, but you feel that taking this step is right, this is when you release into that surrendering. When all of those problems and those issues and those fears and worries of what could happen and what if this and what if I take this leap and then this and this and this happens, it's letting that all go, letting it all fade from your body and grounding yourself in to this energy of total belief, total trust and faith in yourself, in your higher self, and in God, in the creator, in universe, in all of the unseen magic that is guiding you and is cheering for you and is here for you all the time. And just taking that one step and being devoted to being in that energy, let it show you. Let it show you that it is really here, that it is really real. Ask for a sign. Take that first small step. If the step that you're being guided to feels too big, ask for a smaller one and then take it in total faith, surrender, be in the belief of your higher self, of God, of the universe having your back, and see the magic that unfolds for you and allow that to give you the confidence that you need to be in even more blind faith to take the next bigger step that you are being called to. The best way that I can sum all of this up is just trust falling into the universe, into God, like taking the steps, following that higher self pull, those aligned actions, being in that aligned state of being, although it feels scary or feels weird or feels uncomfortable or feels embarrassing even, or like you might be judged for it, but taking it in just total faith that there's a divine reason beyond what you could even possibly imagine now for why you are getting this pull, why you are feeling that this certain way of being or showing up or action or decision feels in alignment to you, and trusting that, then trust falling into the universe as you take it, knowing that you don't know where it's going to lead, and that's perfectly fine and okay, but that there is a massive surprise waiting for you on the other side of taking this aligned step, and trusting that so much that you're willing to do the scary thing, you're willing to do whatever it takes to get to that other side. I'm going to let this all sit with you, digest for you for the time being now, but we could take this so much deeper into how you know what is actually an aligned step and what's not, and really having that clarity within yourself. But what I can tell you right now for that is to just tune in to that internal compass. Learn what your fuck yes feels like and learn what your fuck no feels like. And just try it with simple, mundane things like what you want to wear or what you want to eat today, or if you want to hang out with that person or not. And be very cautious of the human emotions, the egoic emotions and wants and desires and feelings, the things that rise up out of fear or familiarity that make you want to get that quick fix of comfort just because something feels familiar to you. Become really aware of what that feels like versus what that soul pull, higher self alignment feels like. And as much as you can in every day, every moment, move in alignment with that soul pull, even if it feels against those human emotions of wanting to keep you in the safety, in the familiar, and talk yourself through that and ask for the guidance. Ask God, ask universe, ask your higher self for that guidance, for that support as you trust fall into the universe and take this aligned step, no matter how scary it might feel to the human to take. Again, if you are interested in going so much deeper into really aligning with your truest highest self this year, and you are ready to uncover how good it really can get for you and all that is waiting for you on the other side of living in your true and total higher self alignment and the dream life beyond your wildest dreams, beyond what you have even imagined for yourself yet, that is waiting for you there, if you're ready for all of that and to be fully supported in the shadow work that comes with that, the soul discovery, the uncomfortable feelings and emotions and change and transformation and healing work that comes up with that. If you want to be supported in that and you want a group of soul aligned soul family to do it with and walk this path with, I will link everything down below for you to learn more about that. But I would love to have you in this round because, as I said, it's going to be the most hands-on round I have ever done because I'm moving through this too. I'm moving through the fear and the discomfort and the uncertainty and just going against everything I've ever known and everything I've ever pictured or thought for my life, and moving in total blind faith in my higher self alignment. I'm doing this right now, and I'm so excited to be in this real time and support you as you do it real time. So this is going to be such a special round, and I'm so excited to just call in the souls that are meant to be in this round with me. So I will link everything down below for you. As always, I will link my Arcanum LA jewelry too. I'm wearing the angelic clasp, which has been a staple right now in this healing and alignment journey that I've been on, and the rapture rings, and I'll link my bracelets to dragon skin and tiger's eye. Be sure to follow me on all of my socials. I'll link them all here, and the podcast. Although I'm moving through one of the most crazy times in my life, I am truly feeling better than ever. Like, it's insane. It's wild. I can't wait to continue to share all of this new energy with you from this massive awakening that I've been moving through. So follow on the socials to get the day-to-day sort of updates, and then be sure to subscribe here because so much more content like this to come for you. Comment down below and just let me know that you're here. I love to connect with my YouTube community because this is just so intimate and special. I feel like I'm really, really leaning into YouTube this year. It just feels, again, aligned and just a space that I'm really enjoying connecting with you guys with. So introduce yourself. Let me know you're here. Let me know what you're manifesting, what you're moving through. I'm here to support you. Truly. This is what I'm here for. This is my soul's mission. And with all of that, I'm sending you so much love, so much good fucking energy, and I will see you next time. Bye.